I tell all my clients, and some of them listen to me, some of them don't. But my advice is you should wait a year after your divorce is finalized. That means it has been entered into court, the judge has signed it. On that date, that's when the year starts, not prior. Because technically you're still married if it's prior. But on that date that it is signed, ink is dry, on that date, you should do a 1 year probation. And the reason why I say that is because you have just gone through a lot. It was emotional and it was traumatic. I don't care if it was amicable. You
Mm,
still, a divorce is a loss. My the one of the forensic psychologists that was assigned to our case, he said, I told him, I said, when I got the call, I had to leave our family home. I kind of fled actually, when my ex was served. And so when I got that call, I was driving on the highway going to stay with my sister. And I got the call and I cried. And it was pouring. I'm from Seattle, so it was pouring that day. And I cried the same way I cried when I got the call that my grandmother was had passed away.
mm,
And so I told him that. He said, "Yeah, Alvie, statistically, there's research that says a divorce brings about the same emotion as a close relative's death." And I said, "Huh," because I cried the exact same way. And so you're still dealing with the death of a relationship, right? And I also tell my mentees it's not mandatory and I don't require it, but I really push it hard to get into therapy just to work through and break up anything that might be there that you weren't aware that was there. So, after that, then you can enter the dating pool and see what's out there.
yeah,
But my experience is not much, but you can go out there and see what's out there.
yeah,
Uh, I've had since, gosh, okay, so gosh, it's been a long time since I've been divorced. I can count on one hand how many, serious relationships I've had. I think there was only two that I felt could go all the way.
mhm,
Um, but even with those, they didn't pan out. But just recently, I started to do kind of the real work on myself. Like I said before, I was so focused on my children, and this is when I can say my children, right?
mhm,
Uh, I was very focused on my children and making sure that they were in therapy and that they would survive this. Right? I'll be fine, but I need to make sure these kids who are small and don't understand what the hell's going on, that they survive. So I finally focused on myself. And so I've been working with therapists for the last almost 2 years, and just dating and going out and seeing what's out there. Um, I realized that, what I used to believe was my standard may have changed. And she really helped me to see that.